So I'm not gonna take too much of your time this afternoon, but I'm just gonna be transparent. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth about Ave Maria. So I used to be a men's basketball player when I was here. I was on scholarship and I had a great experience, but there was one thing that I noticed very early on. This town, this is God's town. And there's no other way to put it. This town belongs to God. There are so many people that I've met, so many divine appointments, so many things that the Holy Spirit has orchestrated that I can't explain, yet that have led to some sort of benefit in my life. Exhibit A. There's a gentleman here who has a family. He's a dad, he has 2 or 3 kids, and he lives in town. He came up to one of my basketball games my freshman year, and he quoted something that my old high school used to say, "We are LaSalle." And so he came up to me after the game and he said, "Brandon, we are LaSalle." And I'm like, whoa, who is this guy? And so I looked at him, I was like, man. So he kept reaching out. In every game, he would come up to me and say, "We are LaSalle." And finally, I was like, dude, who are you, man? And he's like, man, I went to LaSalle Academy. I'm from New York City. LaSalle is an all-boys high school in New York. I'm like, man. He said, you should come over for dinner sometime. Me and my wife and my kids, we'd love to spend some time with y'all. No, sir, I'm good. Thank you. I don't know who this guy is. I'm still fairly new in this town. I think I'll be okay. I'm gonna just stick with the players, right? And we'll be fine. So he keeps coming around. He keeps coming around. And finally I said, you know what? I would love to come over for Thanksgiving. That would be great. And so he invites me over to dinner. And I'm there. It's me, his wife, his family, his sons. And the wife says to me, "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm from Harlem." She says, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I went to school in Harlem." I said, "Where'd you go to school at?" She says, "I went to Mount Carmel, the Holy Rosary." I said, "Really? My aunt, she taught at Mount Carmel." She says, "Who's your aunt?" I said, "Miss Sultan." Yo, her eyes got so wide. She says, "That was my 3rd grade teacher." I said, "Stop it." I said, "You playing with me?" I said, "There's no way." She says, "Yes." So what does she start doing? She starts calling family. "Y'all won't believe who I'm at the table with. I'm with Miss Sultan's nephew." She's FaceTiming everybody and showing me pictures, and oh man, it gets even crazier. Then she says, "Wait, I gotta call my nephew." I said, "Who's your nephew?" "His name is Devin." "Oh wait, I went to school with Devin. I played with your nephew." So she starts calling everybody again. She's calling her mom and grandma and grandpa. "Hey, y'all won't believe who I'm with." My point being, this is God's town. There's so many, like I said, divine appointments, so many things that happen that only affirm the reality that God chooses who gets to come here. And it's a beautiful thing when we accept it. When we're recruiting on the men's side and women's side, there's a saying, right? The coaches recruit the players, but God signs them. So the coaches can go out all year long searching for who they think should come, but at the end of the day, it's God who actually signs players. The second thing, if you want to be great and you love Jesus, then this is the university for you. If you want to be great and you love Jesus, then this is the university for you. You don't know how many times I've had conversations with students and we're having honest and vulnerable conversations and they're telling me that they don't like their experience here. And I wonder, and I'm like, man, what is it about this place? Why is it not connecting with them? It's one of 2 things. They either don't want to be great, meaning they have no idea of what kind of value they want to add to the world, even on a spiritual sense. Or number 2, their relationship with Jesus isn't as strong as it needs to be. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. When I was a freshman here, I hated going to Mass. I did. I had such a battle growing up with my spiritual life. I felt like God was trying to run things. I felt like he was trying to have this sort of dictatorship over my time. I hated it until one of my teammates came to me one day and he said, "Did you go to Mass today?" I said, "No." He said, "Are you going to go to Mass today?" I said, "No." He said, "Why not?" I said, "Sean, I just don't want to go to Mass." He said, "But you should go to Mass." I said, "Sean, I don't want to go to Mass. What's the problem with me not wanting to go to Mass?" But the irony was that it's very, very difficult to be in this community and that not rub off on you. It's very difficult to be in this type of environment and not gain some sort of spiritual benefit. If you want to be great, and when I say be great, I mean the greatest among you must be servants. If you want to be a great servant and add all kinds of value to the world and you love Jesus, this is the university for you. Last thing, be transparent. It costs. It costs to go here. And I'm not talking from a financial standpoint. Dameron, Jackson, right? All of you guys are starting to see it now, but you're not going to have the same experience that other people have at universities. I can count on one hand. And granted, if you're visiting, you probably don't want to do this anyway, but I can count on one hand the amount of parties I've gone to, right? The amount of drinks I've had, if we've had any as a team. Like, I can count on one hand those type of experiences we've had. And so when we're here, like, our time is about growing in discipleship. Our time is about growing in relationship. There are things that I like, when I go back home to New York, it's very difficult for me to conversate with my high school friends because we are no longer on the same wavelength. I've been part of a community, I've been part of a culture that has now elevated all areas of my life. It's very difficult to go back to that old world. It costs. The beauty is that when I was in high school and I was a senior, I knew there was one thing I wanted to do when I came to college. Find out what I'm good at, because I don't know. I want to figure out what it is I'm good at and how I can add value to the world. That was my one goal. Honestly, it wasn't to graduate. It wasn't to be a star athlete. It was figure out what Brandon is good at. That's it. And I'm so blessed because when I got here, I learned, but I didn't learn through the traditional college experience. I learned through mentorship. I learned through discipleship. I learned through trial and error. I learned through what I call the bounce back. Does anybody know what the bounce back is? Right? So as athletes, we refer to the bounce back as when you get hurt and then your recovery, you come back better than when you were first injured. That's what we refer to as the bounce back. The reason, this is what makes this place so special, last thing, is the bounce back. I realized that in other communities, when I would get hurt or when bad things would happen, my recovery time wasn't filled with spiritual acquaintances. It wasn't filled with that discipleship / mentorship that we talked about. It wasn't filled with new opportunities to learn. And thus I suffered. I realized though, whenever I would fall down here, it was like there were 10 to 15 people just waiting to pick me back up. My sophomore, junior, and senior years, I had concussions. I ended up having vertigo my sophomore year. The same year I tore a labrum in my hip and I had to get surgery, but I didn't do it. And there were people all throughout my time just waiting, Brandon, how can I serve? Brandon, what do you need? My head coach, okay, you're not playing right now. What do you need from me? Do we need to call a count? Like, what do you need? Tell me what you need so I can make sure that you benefit off the court. The first thing that my head coach ever told me when I got here was that my objective is not to make you a better basketball player. He said, when it's all said and done, God is not going to care about how many points you scored, the offense we ran as a team. He said, when it's all said and done, the only thing God is going to care about was whether I made you a better man, a better servant, a better son. Thus, my objective is not to make you a better basketball player. My objective is to get you to heaven. Number one, this is God's town. Number two, if you want to be great and you have a love for Jesus, then this is a very fitting place for you. And number three, it costs in a good way. Every time that I get a chance to speak to people, I'm blessed. So once again, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me your time. It's so nice to see familiar faces. So I appreciate it. Thank you once again. Thank you for allowing me to do this.